Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Good morning, thanks for joining us today. First this morning, in an exclusive interview with this programme, we speak to the young woman from the West Midlands who is the first person in the country to get 2 court orders, one protecting her from female genital mutilation and one from a forced marriage. Zara is 21, she's from Wolverhampton, and her parents wanted her to undergo FGM to secure an arranged marriage, to become, as Zara put it, a proper Muslim. In her first national TV interview, Zara describes losing all hope for her future and exactly how terrifying it is to seek help to keep her safe from the very people she was meant to trust the most, her mum and dad. Zara still lives at home with her parents, with the 2 protection orders in place. In this interview, alongside her, is Sergeant Sharon Smith and PC Jodie Edwards, the West Midlands police officers who've been working with her since she first called the NSPCC a few months ago. For her protection, Zara isn't her real name. You won't see her face, and she asked for her voice to be disguised. First of all, thank you very much for talking to us. It was only a few months ago that you rang the NSPCC. Tell us why you did that.
Because I was really feeling weird. It's pressurized at home. The conversation was kept on going, and I've been getting rejected so many times because I wasn't circumcised, FGM. So they would class me, I'm not respectable, I'm not Muslim. So there were many families being kept on rejecting. And then my dad told me that it's because you're not circumcised and they're saying you're not Muslim, you're not respectable, some of them being emotionally threatening him that he's not doing his job as a father. So it got to a point where I felt like circumcision is normal, I have to go through.
And when you say circumcision, most people would say female genital mutilation.
Yes, yeah.
And when you say you were being rejected, that was by men who might have married you.
Yeah.
But it was not happening because you hadn't undergone female genital mutilation.
Yeah. So I went to my GP because that came to a mindset where it's normal. I have to go through it. So I went to my GP, I spoke to her, and she was a Muslim GP herself, and she told me it's not something you should be doing and it's illegal. And your dad cannot ask you or say things like the family keep on saying that you're not respectable Muslim. So she was explaining the long term. So I just clicked on with what my mom's going through, her medical conditions. And then she
Because your mum has undergone female genital
Yes.
mutilation.
Yeah.
And what effect has it had upon her?
Urine infection, mental health, and skin rashes. So
it's damaged her physically and mentally, would you say?
Yeah.
Mentally in what way?
Mentally, she wasn't very stable enough. She'll get really aggressive sometimes, really down, it's up and down. I would say not in a normal mental set. So.
And that was to do with FGM?
I would believe so, because my GP was explaining about mental side effects and long-term and short-term. And then she gave me the NSPCC's number, and she told me if things escalated at home, you need to phone this number. And then the other day, the conversation was saying people are not willing to get married to you and people are rejecting you. They're saying you're not my child because you're not willing to undergo. And then I phoned NSPCC's and I told them, I just wanted to know what are my rights. Do I have a say in my life? They took few informations and they said they're going to pass it on to police. Right, as soon as they said police, I just flipped out. While I was speaking, I was stumbling, I was crying. So police, that was the last word I wanted to hear at that time. Because that's how we are grown up, being involved with police is something not normal. They're evil. That's how they teach us within Asian background. It's not someone who you should associate with us. Next day, Jodie spoke to me, and she was asking for basic information's name, and then she wanted me to come to the police station, or she said she'll come to the college, but I just said I'll come to the station. I went on there, and really it just clicked on. When I saw her, I felt protected. The way she was talking to me, she didn't make me feel like, oh, what I'm talking is like some alien language to her with my culture. She understood really well, and I was surprised because there have been some times where I wouldn't understand my culture, but she wasn't. She understood, and they never made me feel like I was in a police station. No, they are police officers.
Can I just pause you there? Before I bring PC Jodie Edwards in, I just want to ask you, Zara, how frightened you felt.
Oh, it got to a point where I stopped eating, stopped hopes about my future. There wasn't any hopes at all about my future. I fainted quite a few times. I don't know, it's completely different. My anxiety was to the peak, I would say. I wasn't able to stand still. I would shake, stumble. So I really sorry.
And that's because you thought you were going to have to undergo female genital mutilation in order to get married?
Yes. Yeah.
The NSPCC took that call from Zara and contacted you, PC Edwards. We can hear Zara describe how afraid she was about the police being involved. How do you approach a situation like that?
It's just constant reassurance, constantly. It wasn't just from the first day, it was constant. It was every day. I would make a phone call to her to see how things were going, also to update her. That was really important. She just constantly needed to be reassured.
Reassured that you were going to protect her,
Yeah.
or that you wouldn't, I don't know, pursue legally the parents, or what? What kind of reassurance?
She thought that she would have to stand up in court and do it. And I think
testify against her
own
parents?
Yeah. But when I explained that I could do it, take all the information from her, and I could apply to the courts on her behalf for the protection. And I think once that was explained and constantly reassuring, I think that was what did it for you, wasn't it? I think it was just all about the reassuring that it's not going to happen. We can prevent it from happening, and talking her through the orders as well and the process.
And these orders are female genital mutilation protection orders, and also forced marriage protection orders.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about both of them and how you apply for them. What is the process?
The process basically is we obviously speak with the victim first, we get their views, we explain the full procedure, and at any point they can stop that progression if they don't want to go any further. But we explain everything. We will then go to court, it's a civil court, and obtain the orders. In this instance we had to have a High Court judge. Yes, it can be done as an urgent issue. In this case we got it in about a week or two, which was really good. The orders were in place, and then those orders have to be served on those that are responsible. In this case it was Zara's father that we served the orders on, and we had to fully explain that in this country it is illegal to force someone into marriage and to force them to have FGM, female genital mutilation. Once we'd done that, he understood the process. Zara felt completely protected, and they continue in their family unit as Zara's wishes, living together and go forward with their lives.
Can I just pause there, because that is quite extraordinary. So the protection orders are served on your father, in your family home where you still live, and you are now protected from undergoing female genital mutilation and being forced into a marriage. by the law of this land, despite still living with your own father?
From the very beginning, I didn't want him to be criminalised because, to be honest, he have never laid a finger at me or never shouted at me. So I know he loves me. The problem within the communities and this culture, they pressurize for people, parents. So what in their mentality, what they're doing is right. So from the very, very beginning, I told her, I need someone to explain to my dad that this isn't normal. We don't have to live with this community thinking mentality. The way they pressurize the parents is horrible. Because I have heard few comments how few of my uncle would say to my dad that he's not doing a good job as a father. Or they would say, we wouldn't come to your final prayers, we wouldn't let you to bury in our Islamic cemetery. So those comments are a bit harsh as a parent's point of view. They're trying to do the best thing for their daughter. My dad was trying the best for his daughter. And I could understand his point, and I wanted him to understand my point of view as well.
But what is the atmosphere like in your home?
To be honest, it is awkward, but we had our mediation yesterday, so we are trying to move forward, and he just wanted some time to come out from it because it's a big shock.
And the mediation to which Zara refers is effectively you talking to him about what is legal in Britain and what isn't.
Mm-hmm. That's already taken place when the orders were served on a father. That has to be fully explained, so he does understand. But again, it's the culture, which is very difficult for myself to sit down in their family home and preach that to him. So the external agencies are in place now. In fact, it only happened yesterday. That was the first mediation.
How did that go?
Very positive.
In what way?
Just what I've been told by Zara. Talking in the same room about what's happened. I think that was it was very awkward in the beginning, but during that session it progressed quite well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Despite the pressure you say he was feeling from his community, do you think he understands? He can't force you into a marriage, he can't force you to undergo FGM?
Yeah, because there are certain conditions he has to set with, like he cannot speak to his community again, changed his number, an email address, things like that. So
I didn't realise that there are some practical things that he can and cannot do now as well.
Yeah, in the
Certain
orders, he can't encourage or assist another to remove Zara from the country, or to assist for anyone else to perform FGM. So it's not just about father, it's also about him encouraging others. Yeah.
And I think that's a really important point to get across, that it also stops the victim being taken out of this country to another country to have it done, so there's full protection there.
Where is your passport, Zara?
I think it's with them now.
You've got Zara's passport?
It's at the passport bank.
Right, okay. How do you feel now?
Safe. I told them I felt like I got a new life. I was born again. It's unexplained. I don't know how to explain it.
What our audience can't see is that you've got a smile on your face, which is remarkable to see. And what our audience won't necessarily be able to feel is the extraordinary bond of trust that I can feel in this room between you all.
Yeah.
And I know, Sergeant Smith, you want to say to people, they really should trust people like you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're specifically trained in safeguarding, and I would love to encourage anybody to come forward if they think they're going to be put through this There are lots of departments out there up and down the country in domestic violence units, safeguarding teams who can...
People might not see it as domestic violence, though.
Yeah, they may not. And again, that is something that we had to explain, but it is. It is. And the protection is there, the orders are there in place. This does not have to happen. Yeah, it is time consuming, but just I would encourage anyone to have that faith to come forward, and we will assist them. And I want to protect as many people as I can, or me and my team, in this country.
And what do you think about what Zara has done?
I'm absolutely so proud of her. She's an intelligent, clever lady. She's had the guts to come forward, and that's difficult. And it was her request. She wants to help others for that protection, and that's important to us. It certainly makes, I mean, I've got a lot of service in the job, and it's made me feel really good about it, and Jodie as well. I've directed Jodie throughout. It's just a nice feeling that we've protected someone.
Well, I'm very grateful that you've talked to us about it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it, I really do. Thank you very much, both of you. Thanks for coming on the programme. Thank you. Some comments from you on Twitter. Sandra Bowes-Rennick says, can I say how I admire Zara for her courageous stand? This tweet from Liz, brave young woman sharing her experiences and how she's being protected. And an email from Julia, I wish her every luck in the world. She is a revolutionary. For those of you asking what exactly is FGM, or female genital mutilation, it's a procedure where the female genitals are deliberately cut, injured or changed, but where there's no medical reason for that to be done. It is illegal in Britain.